Nihongo benkyou shimashou. Rani no kyoshitsu.
Minasan, konnichiwa. Watashi wa Uereni desu. Rani sensei to yondei kudasai. In this video, we're going to discuss Lesson 2 of Genki reference. Pero bago yan, let's have a quick review regarding our Lesson 1. So here are the pointers of our Lesson 1. We have here x, wa, y, des. Wherein, yung x ang ating subject at yung wa ay naman yung marker of our subject. No? So, yung particle wa ay yung pang-mark kung ano ba yung ating subject. And then, second, we discussed question sentences. Kung saan, lalagyan lang natin ng ka sa dulo yung ating statement para maging isang question sentence. Okay? And lastly, we also discussed noun, non-noun, kung saan ang particle no ay pang-connect ng nouns. Okay? So, we'll have different topic for today kung saan nakapaloob sa ating lesson 2. Okay. So, we have here for our lesson 2, kore, sore, are, and dore. Okay, so again, I'll have to remind you, by now you should have memorized your hiragana and katakana. Okay, so kailangan kaya nyo na magbasa directly ng hiragana at ng katakana. Sa ulado nyo na rin paano isulat para makapag-focus kayo na maigi sa grammar. Okay? So, for our lesson 2, we have kore, sore, are, and dore. So, napakadali lang intindihin itong topic na ito. Ito lang yung mga ginagamit natin na pangturo kung saan ay yung ginagamit natin na ito sa Tagalog, ayan, or ayun. Okay, so anong difference nila? Etong si kore, ang gamit na ito ay kapag ka ang tinutukoy mo ay malapit sa iyo, or yung bagay na itinuturo ay malapit sa speaker. Okay? Kore, ang tawag doon. Sore, ito naman ay malapit sa listener. Okay? So, meron tayong dalawang nag-uusap dito. Yung speaker at yung listener. Meron tayong speaker and listener. Okay, so we have the listener and the speaker. Ang kore, kapag ka malapit sa speaker, kapag ka sore, malapit sa listener. Pag sinabing are, malayo pareho sa speaker at listener. Again, kore, malapit sa speaker. Sore, malapit sa listener. Are, malayo pareho sa speaker at sa listener. Okay. So, according to the book, what do we do when we want to talk about things that we do not know the names of? We say this thing, that one, and so forth. In Japanese, we use kore, sore, and are. For example, let's read this first example. Kore wa ikura desu ka? Kore wa ikura desu ka? So, gumamit ng kore kasi ang tinutukoy nung nagsasalita ay malapit sa kanya. Sabi niya, how much is this? Sa English, how much is this? Ang sagot naman nung kausap niya, ng listener, sore wa sanzen en des. Sore wa sanzen en des. That is 3,000 yen. Okay, so dahil yung kausap niya ay sumagot, okay, ngayon siya na ngayon ang speaker at ang tinutukoy niya ay malapit doon sa kanyang kausap, kaya sabi niya, sore wa sanzen en des. Okay. Kore refers to a thing that is close to you. So, madaling sabi, the speaker. this thing here. Sore is something that is close to the person you are talking to, the thing in front of you. And are refers to a thing that is neither close to the speaker nor the listener, that one over there. Okay, so to better understand it, we have here a picture. Okay, so for this first example, ito yung speaker. Okay, ito yung speaker, ito yung kausap niya. Ang tinutukoy niya ay itong pen. Sabi niya, kore wa watashi no pen desu. Kore wa watashi no pen desu. Kasi malapit sa kanya. Ito naman, halimbawa sa kanya yung pen na yon. At yung bagay na yun ay malapit sa kanyang kausap. Ang sasabihin niya, sore wa watashi no pen desu. That is my pen. Ngayon, ito naman, halimbawa, itong babae ang nagsasalita at ang tinutukoy ay itong ballpen na to. Sabi niya dito sa kausap niya, are wa watashi no pen desu. Are wa watashi no pen desu. That is my pen. That is my pen. Malayo pareho sa nagsasalita at sa kausap. Okay? There is also an expression dore or which. Here we will learn to use dore in sentences like dore desu ka? Which one is it that you are talking about? So, let's go back to this example. For example, dalawa ang hawak niyang pen. Isang pula at isang blue. Sabi nitong kausap, sabi nitong nagsasalita, are wa watashi no pen desu. That is my pen. Ngayon, tatanong itong kausap niya, dore desu ka? Which one is it? Saan dyan ang tinutukoy mo? Yung pula ba or yung blue? Okay, so dore, madaling sabi, alin or which. Okay? Ngayon, pag itatanong nyo naman specific, in this lesson, we will not explore the full extent to which the word dore can be put to use because there is a slight complication with question words like dore. Question words like dore and nani cannot be followed by the particle wa. Instead, you must use the particle ga and say, dore ga anata no pen desu ka? Dore ga anata no pen desu ka? Okay. So, dito sa kaninang sentence, dore desu ka? Diretso na lang tinanong, alin dyan? Pero kung gagamit ka ng sentence, kukumpletuhin mo at lalagyan mo ng alin dyan ang ballpen mo, gagamit na ngayon ng particle. Although, hindi tayo gagamit ng particle wa. Sabi nga dito ng lesson, hindi particle wa ang gagamitin after ng dore or ng nani. Ang gagamitin daw ay particle ga. Okay, take down notes. Hindi gagamit ng particle wa kapag ka ang question word mo ay either dore or nani. So, that's it for our first topic. Kore, sore, or are. Itandaan nyo lang, pag sinabing kore, malapit sa speaker. Sore, malapit sa listener. Are, malayo pareho sa speaker at listener. Dore, alin, which. Okay? So, let's proceed to our second topic, which is very related to our first topic. We have here, kono, sono, ano, dono. Okay? Kono, sono, ano, dono. Mapapansin ninyo, they almost have the same first syllable, parehong ko. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila ay yung second syllable, which is no. If you want to be slightly more specific than kore, sore, and are, you can use kono, sono, and ano together with a noun. Note here that the re series must always stand alone, while the no series must always be followed by a noun. Thus, if you know that the item in your hand is watch, toke, instead of kore wa ikura desu ka, you can say kono toke wa ikura desu ka? Kono toke wa ikura desu ka? Okay. So, napakasimple lang na explanation para dito. Halos pareho sila ng re series. Pag sinabing re series, ito yon yung nauna natin na topic. Re series kasi lahat re ang gamit ko. Re, sore, are, dore. Re series ang tawag dyan. Dito naman, no series. Kasi kono, sono, ano, dono. Okay? Ang pinagkaiba lang nila, ang res series, hindi mo na kasamahan ng noun. For example, ito. Korewa. Korewa. Dare no desu ka? Korewa. Dare no desu ka? Kanino ito? So, bago tayo umabot doon sa particle wa, diba? Dare no desu ka? Korewa, dare no desu ka? Okay, so makikita ninyo na bago tayo umabot sa particle wa, wala na tayo inilagay pa dito na noun. Stand alone, sabi nga ng libro. So, pag gumamit ka ng res series, hindi mo nalalagyan ng noun after nyan. Okay. Pero sa no series, lalagyan natin. Ano kaya ang mapapansin ninyo dito sa no series? Kono toke wa ikura desu ka? Kono toke wa ikura desu ka? Nasaan ang particle wa natin? Ito. Ang particle wa. And yung kono natin, ito. Okay. Makikita nyo, naglagay pa tayo ng noun, toke. Toke is watch. Okay, relo. Kono toke wa ikura desu ka? Okay. So, naglagay pa tayo ng noun kasi gumamit tayo ng no series ng no particle. Okay. Tandaan ninyo, ginagamit ang no particle when we are trying to connect two nouns. Okay. So, for this topic, tatandaan ninyo, every time nagagamit kayo ng no series, tinutukoy nyo ito. So, pag res series, basically sabihin mo lang, korewa maka desu, marker. Korewa maka desu. But, if you are going to use no, okay, gagamit ka itong no series natin, kono maka wa dare no desu. Kono maka wa watashi no desu. Okay. So, again, pag re, korewa watashi no desu. Ito ay sa akin. Pero pag gumamit ng no, kono maka wa watashi no desu. Alright. So, basically, dito sa no series, gagamitin nyo to kapag gusto mo pang mas maging specific kung ano ba yung tinutukoy mo. Okay? Similarly, if you are talking about a watch that is held by the person you are talking to, you can say, sono toke wa sanzen en desu. And if the watch is far from both the speaker and the listener, malayo pareho sa nagsasalita at sa listener, you can say, ano toke wa sanzen go byaku en desu. Sanzen go yaku en desu. That watch over there is 3,500 yen. Okay, so sanzen, that is 3,000. Go yaku, that is 500. 3,500 and this. If you already know that one of several watches is 3,500 yen, but do not know which, you can say, dono toke ga sanzen go yako en desu ka? Anong watch, anong relo, dono toke ga sanzen go yako en desu ka? So, alin daw na watch ang nagkakahalaga ng 3,500 yen? For example, merong tatlong relo, lahat sila ang presyo, 3,500. So, gusto mong tanongin, alin doon sa tatlong relo na yun? Pwede mong sabihin, dono toke ga sanzen go yaku en desu ka? Okay. So, since dono is a question word, just like dore discussed above, we cannot use the particle wa with it. We must use ga. So, pareho lang kung sa dore, gagamit tayo ng particle ga instead of particle wa. Ganon din sa dono. Kung gagamit man tayo ng particle, gagamitin natin dyan particle ga. Okay, so to summarize, kore, kore wa, kono, noun wa, close to the person speaking. Okay, take down note. Kore and kono, close to the person speaking. Sore and sono, close to the person listening. And are and ano, far from both people. So, malayo sa speaker, malayo din sa listener. And dore, dono, it is unknown. Ibig sabihin, itinatanong mo alin dahil hindi ka sure kung ano ba doon sa tinutukoy. So, for our third topic, it is also almost close as our first and second topic. Koko, soko, asoko, doko. So, for this topic, it's all about places. So, syempre, hindi lang naman tutukuyin natin ay mga gamit. Tutukuyin din natin lugar. Dito, dyan, doon, sa Tagalog. Okay? So from the concept of kore, sore, are, and then kono, sono, ano, you can get the idea kung saan natin gagamitin ang koko, soko, asoko. Pag sinabing koko, dito, here, near me. Pag sinabi nating soko, there, near you. Pag sinabi naman nating asoko, over there. And doko, where. Ang question word para sa tanong na saan ay doko. Okay? You can ask for directions by saying, sumimasen, yubin kyoku wa doko desu ka? Sumimasen, yubin kyoku wa doko desu ka? Sumimasen, excuse me. Yubin kyoku, yun naman yung post office. So, dahil ang tinutukoy natin ay itong yubin kyoku or yung post office, we used particle wa. So, makikita nyo, ito yung sentence pattern natin nung lesson 1. Naging question sentence lang siya. We have here the X, the first noun, yubin kyoku. We have particle wa, and then the Y, doko, and this. But since this is a question sentence, meron siyang ka sa dulo, and we have the question word. Okay? Sumimasen, yubin kyoku wa doko desu ka? Excuse me, where is the post office? So, kung ikaw yung tinatanong at malapit lang naman, kita or tanaw nyo lang, you can say, yubin kyoku wa asoko desu. Tuturo mo lang, yubin kyoku wa asoko desu. So, for this instruction, yung pagturo mo na to, tanaw mo lang yung post office. Okay? Dahil meron tayong ibang more specific way of saying a direction. At mapag-aaralan natin yan sa lesson 4. So, halimbawa, diretso ka dyan, tapos kumanan ka sa pangalawang kanto, ay makikita mo sa kaliwa yung yubin kyoku. So, yun yung mas specific direction. But, if it's just near you, malapit lang, tanaw nyo lang, pwede mo nang ituro. And, as we discussed in our first lesson, you can remove the subject if it is already obvious. Tinanong ka, excuse me, saan po ba ang post office? Pwede mo nang alisin na, ang post office ay ayun. Diba? Pwede mo na tanggalin yung ang post office. Pwede mo na lang sabihin na, ayun. Okay, so, kaya dito, close and open parenthesis na siya kasi you can directly answer with just asoko desu. Right over there. Okay? So, that's all for the koko, soko, asoko, and doko. Let's just have an example. Okay, so papipiliin ko kayo kung ano ang gagamitin nyo. Dito sa isang sample sentence. So we just have one sample sentence. Sabihin nyo kung ano ang gagamitin nyo sa ilan na pag-aralan natin. 4, 8, 12. That 12 na yun, ano ang gagamitin nyo dito? So, lalagay ko rin dito yung speaker. At yung listener. Okay? Try to answer it. Ito yung hon na tinutukoy. Ayan ay libro. Blank hon wa i desu ka? Pag sinabi natin i, is okay ba? Maganda ba? Maganda. Gagamitin natin. Kore, sore, are, dore, or kono, sono, ano, tono, or koko, soko, asoko, or doko. Okay. If you have guessed sono, then you got the right answer. Bakit sono? Kasi ang tinutukoy natin na libro ay malapit sa listener. Okay? Kapag ka malapit sa listener, tandaan natin, ang gagamitin natin ay so. Okay? Sono. Bakit ngayon naging no, hindi sore? Dahil meron tayong noun before yung particle wa. Tandaan ninyo, kapag ka merong noun, yan, ang gagamitin natin ay yung kono, sono, and ano. Okay? Dahil ang mga kore, sore, are ay stand alone. Hindi na sila sinasamahan ng noun. So, ang sagot dito ay sono. Okay, so the correct answer is sono. And so, that's all for that topic. We'll have to proceed to our fourth topic, which is dare no noun. So, kanina ginagamit natin yung sentences example, yung watashi no ketai denwa desu. This is my phone. Watashi no whiteboard. Watashi no whiteboard desu. So, this is my whiteboard. Kore wa watashi no maka desu. This is my marker. So, gumagamit tayo ng watashi no, anata no, and then we can say Takeshi-san no kabang desu. Pwede natin sabihin na Takeshi-san no denwa bango desu. So, ang number ni Takeshi. Ngayon, paano naman natin tatanungin kung kanino? Whose? Diba? So, alam natin paano gamitin na, sa akin to, sa kanya to, sa iyo ito. Pero pag tinanong, kanino? Kanino itong cellphone? Ketai denwa. Okay? So, masasagot yan dito sa ating lesson. Gamit itong dare no noun. Okay? Dare no noun. In lesson 1, we learned how to say things like Mayari-san no denwa bango, Mary's phone number, and Takeshi-san no okasang. We now learn how to ask who something belongs to. Okay, so pwede rin yan, hindi lang yan sa bagay, pwede rin sa tao. So, pwede natin itanong na, dare no okasang? Dare no okasang? Pwede natin, dare no okasang desu ka? Pwede siyang maging Takeshi-san no okasang desu. Takeshi-san no okasang desu. Right, so let's look at this example. Kore wa dare no kabang desu ka? Kore wa dare no kabang desu ka? Whose bag is this? Sore wa Susan no kabang desu. So, hindi yan Susan ha, yung pangalan. Susan, yung san na yan yung ginagamit nating title to refer to other person. Okay, so ang pangalan niya lang ay Sue. Sore wa Susan no kabang desu. That is Sue's bag. Okay, so let me just add, wala siya dito sa libro na ito, pero it is discussed in a different references. We can already remove noun here. Okay, pwede nang maalis yung noun. Bakit? Pwede na lang natin sabihin na sore wa Susan no desu. Sore wa Susan no desu. O kaya, sore wa watashi no desu. Wala na yung noun. Bakit? Okay, the only time na pwede mong alisin yon is kapag ka naiintindihan nyo na kung ano yung tinutukoy nyo. For example, eto nga, kore wa dare no kabang desu ka? Kanina tong bag na to? pwede mo na lang sabihin na, sorry wa, watashi no desu. Sa akin yan. And, pwede rin naman kung halimbawa, kita mo naman kung ano yung tinatanong niya, no? Hawak-hawak niya mismo. Halimbawa, itong, ketai denwa. Pwede mo na lang ding itanong na, kore wa, dare no desu ka? Kore wa, dare no desu ka? Pwede mo nang alisin yung noun mo doon dahil naiintindihan na rin ng kausap mo kung ano yung tinutukoy mo. At pag sinagot mo, pwede na lang din siyang, sore wa, watashi no desu. Sore wa, watashi no desu. Gets ninyo? Pwede nating i-omit yung noun only if it's already clear or understood by both the speaker and the listener. Pero kapag halimbawa, hindi naman alam kung ano yung tinutukoy, pwede natin sabihin na yung arewa dare no desu ka? Ang dami. Pag sinabi nating are, di ba malayo, pag sinabi nating are, malayo siya pareho sa speaker at sa listener. So, maraming object nandoon sa malayo. Kapag simple mo lang na tinanong na, arewa dare no desu ka? Kanino yun? So, mapapaisip yung kausap mo, ang alin? Mapapatanong pa siya ng, dore desu ka? So, just to be clear, pwede mo nang diretsuhin na, arewa dare no kabang desu ka? Arewa dare no kabang desu ka? Maiintindihan tuloy ng kausap mo, ano ba yung tinutukoy mo? Bag, pencil, upuan, cellphone. Okay, so just to be clear, you can say it kapag hindi clear pareho sa speaker and sa listener. Okay, so that's how we use dare no. Napakasimple lang. Pag sinabi natin who, sino, we use dare. Pero kapag kanino, we use dare no. Okay, so we have like a total of 5 question words. We already know what, nani, ano. We have dore, which, and we have dono noun, which noun, which bag, which ball pen, which cell phone. Okay. We also have doko, where. We have who, dare, and for 6 question word, we have whose, kanino. Okay, so take note of those question words. You can use that whenever you are trying to make sentences or question sentences, to be specific. Okay, so let's move on to our 5th topic. We have here noun mo. Okay, so what is mo? Ang mo ay isa ring uri ng particles. So as for particles, we have already discussed a couple of particles. Also in lesson 1, we have discussed like 2 particles, right? So let me write it down, and I suggest you also take it down. So kahit na nanood kayo ng video, you can play it anytime. It's still much better to take down notes kasi instead of scanning, hanapin nyo pa saan nga ba dito sa part ng video sinabi yung ganito, ganyan. Diba? Mas maganda na meron na kayo already, meron na kayong notes. Okay, so, particles that we have already discussed or the particle wa. Wa, which marks the subject. We also discussed particle no, which connects noun or nouns. We also have particle ga, although hindi pa natin siya ganong napag-aaralan ng maigi, but nadaanan na natin siya, particle ga. It also, so for particle wa, not just the subject but also the topic. So later on, mas uunawain pa natin anong difference ng subject and ng topic. But for now, just to give you a very general explanation or general overview, what is the subject, what is the topic? Pag sinabing topic, as in, yun yung pinag-uusapan sa buong sentence. Subject, sometimes it is also the doer of the action. Okay? Subject is the doer of the action. Basically, topic is always the subject, but subject is not always the topic. Okay? So, it can be quite confusing for now, but you can just take down note of that, and then later on, kapag mas na-discuss na natin, mas mauunawaan ninyo ano ibig sabihin nun. ang topic palagi yung subject. But subject is not always the topic of the sentence. Okay? So, for particle ga, it marks this the subject, or better say doer of the verb, or let's just say the subject. Okay, so we have already discussed particle wa marks the subject, topic no connects nouns, and particle ga marks the subject. We also have discussed here particle mo. So, particle mo, basically, ang ibig sabihin niya lang, also, or to. Mo, it means also or to. So, noun mo. Do sa lesson 1, let's have an example. Yung si Takeshi at si Maria. Or si Mary. Takeshi and Mary. Okay, so here we have Takeshi-san wa. Takeshi ang pangalan, and we use sang as a title for that person. Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. Nihon is Japan. When we add jin, it makes it nationalities, or so that will become Japanese. Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. So that's X wa Y desu. And then another person we are talking to or referring to, Tanaka-san wa Nihonjin desu. So si Tanaka-san ay isang Nihonjin. Sa Tagalog, si Takeshi-san ay isang Hapon, Tanaka-san ay isang Hapon. So, sa madaling sabi, since pareho naman silang Hapon, we can say sa Tagalog, si Takeshi-san ay isang Hapon, ganun din naman si Tanaka na isa ring Hapon. Okay? Or si Tanaka-san ay Hapon din. Ang papalitan lang natin dito ay yung particle wa, nung pangalawa. Okay, bakit yung pangalawa? Kasi ay yun yung also at saka, di ba? Dahil pag hindi natin papalitan tong una, ito lang pangalawa, okay? Kung ito ay yung isang sentence, dapat yung pangalawa kapareho nung sa naunang sentence, kapareho nung traits, okay? Ano ba yung traits na yun, or yung status? Nihonjin. So dahil Nihonjin din yun nandito, pwede na natin palitan tong particle wa ng particle mo. Okay? Pwede na natin palitan yung, kasi natin yung sulat ng mo. Okay. So, instead of particle wa, we can change it to particle mo. Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. Tanaka-san mo Nihonjin desu. So, makikita natin dito sa example sa book. Takeshi-san wa Nihonjin desu. Michiko-san mo Nihonjin desu. Ganun nga, sabi ko sa inyo. Papalitan lang, ito dati itong particle wa, pinalitan lang ng mo. Dahil pareho naman sila ng tinutukoy, okay? Michiko is Japanese too. Note that these two sentences are almost identical in shape. This is natural as they both claim that a certain person is Japanese. So, papansinin nyo, natural lang na pareho sila ng kiniklaim dito na ito ay Nihonjin, ito rin ay Nihonjin. Bakit? Dahil ang particle mo ginagamit sa gantong mga sentences, type of sentences. They should be identical. At sa anumang paraan dyan, dapat pareho yan. The second sentence, however, is different from the first in that we do not find the particle wa in it. Okay, so, to give a common sense, syempre, ang pinagkaiba lang nila, maliban syempre sa pangalan na nandito, ay yung particle. Na dito sa unang sentence, particle wa, and then dito sa second sentence, ang gamit na natin ay particle mo. Okay. mo is a particle that indicates that that item too has the given property. Okay, sabi dito, itong particle mo ay nagpapakita na itong minamark niya, tandaan niyo ang particle palaging after nung kanyang tinutukoy. Diba? Kung ito sa particle wa, ang tinutukoy niya ay ito yung minamark niya as the subject or the topic of the sentence. Ganon din naman tong particle mo. So, lahat ng particle, lagi siyang after nung kanyang tinutukoy. Okay? Kanyang pinangahawakan na phrase or noun. So, for this one, sinasabi lang ng mo na itong noun na ito ay kapareho nung nauna na sentence or nung nauna na pahayag. Okay? In English, the word to can be placed after the sentence as a whole, as in the example above. Not so in Japanese. In the above sentence, mo must directly follow Michiko-san. So, placing lang naman ito, pagkakapwesto lang sa English, sa dulo inilalagay. Pero sa Japanese language, dito yan, right after nung tinutukoy niya na noun. Na, sino ba yung ganun din? Okay? Siya ay si Michiko-san din. Okay? Yan. So, makikita nyo dito, we have, ito yan. Ito yung counterpart na yan. So, Takeshi-san wa, Nihonjin desu. Ito yung A, wa, X desu. Ang A ay si Takeshi, Takeshi-san. Particle wa, and we have Nihonjin desu. Okay? Si A daw ay X. B mo, X desu. So, B, ito yan si Michiko-san, particle mo, and then Nihonjin desu. Mapapansin ninyo, it should be the same, yung X na yan. Shared property. Ika nga, sabi ng book natin. So, we have two items, but they both share the same property. So, dapat Nihonjin, hindi pwede itong maging America-jin desu. Dahil iba na yun, sabi nga, si Takeshi-san ay isang Hapon, si Michiko-san din ay Amerikano. So, grammatically, it's very wrong. Kung America-jin man sabi natin si Mary, Mary-san wa America-jin desu. Diba? So, particle 1 na ang gagamitin natin doon kasi hindi naman pareho nung X, okay? Tinatawag natin na property dito, nung Y. Okay? So, it should be wa pagka magkaiba, pero pag pareho, you can change the second sentence particle from wa to particle mo. Papalitan lang yan. Alright, so far, wala pa naman tayo masyadong complicated na topic. Simple, tinukoy lang natin kung ano to, ano yung pagturo ng mga bagay. We also discussed paano tanungin yung kanino. We also discussed here itong particle mo. Very simple lang, napaka-basic lang yan, na kapag ka meron silang pareho na property, papalitan mo lang yung pangalawang sentence from wa, gagawin mong particle mo. So, let's look on this sixth topic. We have here noun janitis. Noun janai. Okay, so lesson 5 pa natin pag-aaralan yung pag-negate ng adjective. So, let's continue. You find several stylistic variants in negative sentences. So, ang nakalagay dyan sa pointers natin ng ating topic, ng ating pang-anim na topic ay janai. Okay, so actually, there is a more formal way of saying that. Janai desu is the most casual. Okay? Ayan na yung pinaka-casual way of saying or of negating a noun. Form lang naman ito. Form, ibig sabihin yung itsura lang. Meaning are the same, but they are just different in form. Parang sa Tagalog yung salitang ikaw at kaw. Ikaw kaya. Ikaw kaya. Ikaw kaya gumawa nito. Ikaw kaya gumawa nito. So, ikaw at kaw, magkaiba sila ng form, iba na spelling, but they mean the same thing. Okay? So, ganun din itong pag-aaral natin sa Janai. Isusulat ko lang dito lahat. First, we have Janai-des. Remember, laging lang ilagay yung des. Janai. And then, we have ja arimasen. Papansin nyo, wala na tayong des na ginamit doon. And lastly, we have dewa arimasen. Okay, so we have here Janai-des. Janai-des. We have ja arimasen and then dewa arimasen. Janai-des, ito yung pinaka casual way of saying it. Ja, pare-pareho yan. Ja, dito dewa. Dahil ang pinanggalingan ng ja, yan ay shortened form of dewa. Shortened form of dewa. And then, ang nai, shortened form of arimasen. Nai ay shortened form of arimasen. Okay, so we have arimasen. Ang naging difference lang itong dalawa, itong ja, shortened dito, ito yung pinaka-formal way. So, kailan nagagamit itong mga to? Ayun yung nakalagay dito sa ating book. Yamada-san wa gakuse ja arimasen. Yamada-san wa gakuse ja arimasen. This is a more conservative speech type. So, mas formal ito sa way ng pananalita. So, ja arimasen sa pananalita if you want to be more formal, okay? And then, if you want to be formal, sa pagsusulat naman, you can use dewa arimasen. Yamada-san wa gakuse dewa arimasen. Okay, so pag nagsasalita ka and you just want to be casual, you can use janai-des. Okay? Always with des at the end of it. For affirmative, we have yung napag-usapan natin kanina, x, wa, y, des. X is y. For negative, x, wa, y, janai-des. Ja arimasen, dewa arimasen. X is not y. Mapapansin niyo, hindi naman tayo nagbago ng meaning dito, but we have three different forms. Okay, they have different forms, but they have the same meaning. Okay, so are we clear with that on our sixth topic? Very basic lang yan. Ginagawa lang nating negative yung, ano again? Verb, adjective, or noun. Okay, so noun. Pinag-uusapan pa lang natin yung noun. Okay, if you want to negate noun, you use janai-des or ja arimasen, or in writing, dewa arimasen. Now, let's proceed to our seventh topic. We have, okay, every time you can see this symbol, ibig sabihin lang yan, meron pa yung kadugtong na word. Okay? Ibig sabihin, pang-connect lang to sa dulo. Itong ne at yo. Statements often end with the tags ne or yo. Normally, maririnig nyo to sa pag mahilig kayo manood ng anime, nakikita nyo, maririnig nyo yung ne at saka yo. For example, sugoi kawaii ne. Kawaii ne. Kawaii is cute. Ne. Mamaya pag-usapan natin ano ba ibig sabihin niyang ne na yan. And then yo. Oishi yo. Kore wa oishi yo. Bakit oishi is delicious, masarap. Masarap to. Depending on the way the speaker views the interaction with the listener. If the speaker, okay, kapag kayong nagsasalita ay nangihingi ng confirmation, for example, sugoi kore wa benri desu ne. Kore wa benri desu ne. Benri is convenient. So, etong phone ay convenient, no? Convenient siyang gamitin. Sabihin ganun. Nangihingi ako ng confirmation. So, we use ne. Ayan nga, sabi nga dito naka-close and open parenthesis, right? Convenient to, no? Gagamit tayo ng ne. Kaya kanya sinabi, sugoi, kawaii ne. Shit, no? Not actually, hearing a verbal agreement, but at least you can, parang makahingi ka man lang ng tango doon sa kausap mo. No? So, that's asking for confirmation or agreement. And then, ang yo, ito naman ang ibig sabihin niya. Another particle yo, I tell you, is added to a statement if the speaker wants to assure the listener of what has been said. Pag sinabing yo, ikaw na mismo yung nagbibigay ng information, you're not asking, ikaw na nagsasabi. Halimbawa, ay, ang cute na ito. Kariwa, kawaii yo. Kawaii. Sabing kawaii, cute, no? So, kono ketai dengo wa, benri desu yo. Pag sabing benri is convenient. Again. So, pag sinabing, doon sa sentence ko na yun, sinasabi ko lang, ini-indicate ko lang, ini-imply ko lang na ito ay convenient. Hindi ako nagtatanong, I'm trying to inform you that this is convenient. So, let's read the example for ne and yo. Start tayo dito sa ne. Risang no senko wa bungaku desu ne. Risang no senko wa bungaku desu ne. Miss Lee, your major is literature, right? Miss Lee, your major is literature, right? Tinatanong niya, kino-confirm niya. And then, kare wa niko janai desu ne. Hindi to karne, no? Okay. And then, for yo, tonkatsu wa sakana janai desu yo. Let me assure you, tonkatsu is not a fish. So, sabi ko sa iyo, or ang tonkatsu ay hindi isda. Pinapaalam ko sa iyo. Or, sumisu-san wa igirisujin desu yo. Sumisu-san wa igirisujin desu yo. Sabi niya na si Mr. Smith daw ay isang British. Okay, ini-inform niya. Hindi niya tinatanong, kundi nag-i-inform siya. Okay, so the difference between ne and yo, ne is asking for confirmation, but for yo, you are simply informing the person. Okay, so that's all for today's lesson. We have discussed kore, pointing things, or you're trying to point places. We have koko, soko, asoko. Asking for asking for places, doko. We also discussed how to use dare no, kanino. Also, we discussed noun mo. If you have two sentences and the second sentence has the same property, they share the same property as the first topic, you can change particle wa into particle mo. And then, we have discussed this, ne and yo. Also, how to negate a noun, we use janai desu, or ja arimasen, or dewa arimasen. So, we have here the expression notes, or the useful expressions in Japan. So, we have here, first, o kudasai. Ito ay isang particle. Okay, isa tong uri ng particle. Later on, mas papag-aaralan natin ano ang uses ng particle o. Normally, sa mga magiging exams ninyo, you will have, or let's say, sa magiging nag-take kayo mga online exams, nagtingin-tingin kayo doon to practice yung grammar ninyo, kung naintindihan nyo na talaga, you will be asked different particles. Ano ba ang dapat ilagay? Okay, so better to memorize ano ba yung mga uses of every particle. So, for now, o kudasai. So, nakita ulit kayo nitong symbol na to. Again, sabi ko sa inyo, pag nakita nyo yan, may karugtong pa yan sa unahan. Okay. O kudasai is please give me X. So, tong X na to, ayan yung supposedly nakalagay dyan sa unahan. Diyan. Okay. Please give me X. You can use it to request concrete items in general. When we say concrete items, you can use it to request items in general. Concrete, yung nakikita. Okay? Visible. For example, water please. Water is mizu. Okay? Mizu. Mizu o kudasai. Mizu o kudasai. Okay, so yun. Kapag ka gusto mo sabihin, please give me X. So, ano naman yung o onegaishimasu? O onegaishimasu. O onegaishimasu 2 is a request for item X. So, please give me X. Same lang yan. Pero, when used to ask for a concrete object, o onegaishimasu sounds slightly more upscale than o kudasai. It is heard often when ordering food at a restaurant, or can also be used to ask for abstract objects such as repairs, explanations, and understanding. So, pag sinabi naman natin abstract objects, yung mga hindi nakikita, yung repair, explanation, so hindi naman natin nakikita yung paliwanag or yung pagkaunawa. Okay, so you can use onegaishimasu. But for sabi nga, pwede rin naman itong gamitin for concrete objects, like if you wanna ask for water in a restaurant, you can say omizu onegaishimasu, omizu onegaishimasu. Okay, and we have here o dozo. O dozo. O dozo is used when an offer is made with respect to item X. Okay, in the dialogue, the restaurant attendant uses it when she is about to hand the menu to the customer. Kapag ka ikaw naman yung nag-aabot, here you go, parang halimbawa, menu o dozo, okay? And it may also be used when a person is waiting for you to come forth with item X. Okay, so not just kapag ka mag-aabot ka, ginagamit din yan kapag ka mag-a-ask ka naman, may kukunin ka galing sa kanila na iaabot. Kumbaga, in-expect mo, for example, you have a form, meron kang form, and then iaabot mo sa kanya, kailangan niya magsulat ng kanyang pangalan. Sabi nga dito, onamayo dozo, ibig sabihin, please write your name here. Okay, so polite way of asking. So different form yan. Kaya nagkaroon ng o dito sa unahan, hindi yan same neto particle o na ito. Yang o sa unahan, ang spelling lang niyan ay yung as in o ng hiragana. So ito yung particle o. Okay, ito yung particle o, at ito naman yung o na nandito sa unahan na ito. O namae. Ginagamit yan as a politeness marker. Sabi nga dito, o is a politeness marker. Therefore, onamae is your honorable name. Kumbaga, please write your honorable name. Although, hindi naman siya very specific na yun ang tinatukoy. But, that's how you are trying to sound like. Okay? On the pronunciation of number words, note that the words for 300, 600, 800, 3,000, and 8,000 involve sound changes. So, napag-aralan natin doon sa useful expression sa lesson 1 na hindi lahat ng number nababasa as is. For example, ichi lang palagi. Kahit anong counters ang ilagay mo, ichi lang. So, hindi ganun. Hindi siya ichiji, ichisai for age. Okay, so hindi siya palaging ichi. Minsan, nagiging i, nagkakaroon ng chisaitsu, and then yung counters. For example, sai is a counter for age. So, if you want to say 1-year-old, hindi siya ichi sai. Magiging siyang isai. I, chisaitsu, and sai. Sulat natin. So, na-discuss na natin to for our past lesson. Ulitin lang natin. So, i, and then, nagkaroon ng chisaitsu, sai. Isai. So, sabi nga, there's a sound changes involved. Counters whose first, dito i-determine natin kailan ba madalas magbago yung sounds. So, for counters whose first sound is H, like yaku, okay, sa 100, generally change shape after 3, 6, and 8. Okay, so nagbabago yung sounds kapag ka inilagay siya after ng 3, 6, and 8. So you can just memorize this. Counters, first sound like H. If you want to list it down for you to memorize it faster, I'll give you a way how to write it or to take down note of it. So for counters that starts with H, magbabago siya kapag nalagay after ng 3, 6, and 8. At sabi dito, some counters that begin with S, yung ibang mga counters na nag-start sa S, tulad ng sai. Okay, seng. Diba? Ang mababago dyan ay yung 3 and 8. Okay, according dito sa book. So, sabi dyan, we also have big numbers. In addition to the digit markers for tens, hundreds, and thousands, which are found in Western languages as well. So, meron din tayo niyang tinatawag na mga tens, hundreds, and thousands. Meron din sa Japanese niyan. Japanese uses the marker for tens of thousands, mang. Okay, so, alam natin sa English, kapag lumagpas na tayo sa thousands, ang kasunod na nun, 10,000. Diba, dinagdagan lang natin ng 10. Ngayon, kapag nadagdagan pa ng isang zero, nagiging 100,000. So, ang gamit pa rin natin doon is yung 1,000. Dito, nagbabago na. So, sa Japanese, ang 1,000 ay seng. Hindi yan magiging juseng for 10,000 or yakuseng sa 100,000. Iba ang gamit doon. Okay? Ang gamit sa 10,000, tens of thousands ay mang. Okay? So, sulat natin para mas maintindihan. No? So, ang tens okay, so we have here 10. Okay, at sa Nihongo yan ay ju. So, sulat natin siya na hiragana. Ju, 10. Ngayon, lagyan natin yung 100. Is yaku. 100 yaku. And then we have 1,000 seng. Okay, we have 10 for ju for 10, 100. We have yaku and 1,000 that is seng. So for 10,000, hindi na siya 1,000 ang gamit. Ang gagamitin natin ay for 10,000, we have man. Man or mang. Hindi siya talaga yung sound na N. Man. Okay? Man. Hindi siya ganun. Babasahin siya. Parang may G sa dulo. Mang. Right? Ganun din yung sen. Hindi siya as in sen lang. Seng. Okay? So, ganun yung pataas ng pataas. Dadagdagan lang natin ng numbers. Yan, for example, yung 10, 11, magiging ju, ichi. Okay? So, next, we have Nihon no okane or Japanese currency. So, the Japan's official currency is the yen. Sa hiragana, pag inilagay yan sa English, ang sulat niyan, yen. Pero, pag isinulat yan sa hiragana, N na lang yan. N. Kasi ito ay I. Diba? At ito ay N. N. Walang Y. Okay? N. So, pasadahan lang natin to, which is pronounced N in Japanese. The bills and coins currently in circulation are the following. Ayan. So, if ever makapunta sa Japan, ito yung kanilang mga pera. Okay. We have ichimang. Okay. 10,000 ichimang. Bakit ichi to? And then, nandun tayo sa, ano nga yung 10,000? Hindi siya juseng, kundi mang. Kaya ichi plus yung 10,000 ichimang. we have here the portrait of Yukichi Fukuzawa, a philosopher and the founder of Keio University. We have here the go, and then since this is 1,000, we use seng. We have ni seng en, ni kasi 2 and then 1,000 pa rin siya. We also have here, okay, so normally, minsan pagka ichi na lang yan, pwede mo nang alisin yung ichi. For example, di ba 1,000? Pwede mo nang alisin yung ichi. Seng na lang ang tawag mo. Seng in. Okay, pwede rin namang ichi seng. Pero, most commonly used yung seng lang sa 1,000. Pag 2,000 na, ni seng, go seng, sang seng. Okay? We have also the go yaku and coin. Yaku, since ichi yan, pwede na lang yaku and coin. We have goju and coin. We have ju and coin, go and coin, and ichi and coin. All bills and coins are different sizes. For example, the bills slightly descend in length from 10,000 or ichimang in to seng in. Although credit cards are now widespread in Japan, some small shops and restaurants do not accept them, even in major cities. Consequently, most people usually carry a certain amount of cash with them. The ATMs can be found almost everywhere. Prepaid cards are available for use for public transportation and shopping. Personal checks are not used in Japan. Okay, so, kung sa atin, sanay tayo sa Pinas ng cash, sa kanila, mostly, sa card na talaga ang gamit nila. Okay? And we have here the practices. There, yaku for numbers. Ayan, mga practices to see if you have really understood the lesson. We have here empitsu, kasa, shimbun, hon, kutsu, toke, kabang, jisho. We have here zoibon, or we have here jitensha, noto, boshi. Okay. We have here pictures. And then, dialogues. So, anong gagamitin dito? Kung siya ang nagsasalita at tinutukoy niya ito. Koreba, sore. Okay, kapag ka malapit siya nagsasalita, ano ba gagamitin? Or kapag ka malayo sa kanilang pareho. Okay, so that's all for our today's lesson. Mapapansin niyo madadali pa yung mga lesson natin since nasa lesson 2 pa lang tayo, okay? So grab this opportunity. Madadali man itong mga lesson na to, but take note, these are the foundation. Foundations are very important kasi later on, once we discuss complicated topics, you have to master this basic para mas madali na sa'yo pagdating natin dun sa mga mahihirap natin na mga pag-uusapan, mga grammars, mga sentence pattern, okay? So, again, for the very basic, memorize hiragana and katakana, practice it, writing, practicing nyo magbasa, same with reading, okay? Practicing nyo na magbasa while you are studying grammars, ganun din dapat sumasabay din yung inyong skill pagdating sa pagbabasa, okay? Pagbabasa ng hiragana and katakana. Okay, so see you on our next lesson, and please practice. Watch this video again kung meron kayong mga part na hindi masyadong maintindihan. Okay, if you have question, huwag kayong mahiya magtanong. Okay, ja, mata ne.